Among the people in this trial who stopped the medication, 2 out of 3 regained enough weight within a year that they needed a rescue dose. Among the people who stayed on the full dose, fewer than 1 in 10 did, 67% versus 8%. That single contrast is the most honest answer anyone can give you to the question everyone actually asks. What happens to my body when I stop? Quick note on who's reading this to you. I'm Dr. Natalie Howard, DNP, and metabolic medicine is my clinical lane. I read the trials so you get the data, not the noise. So, here's the answer up front. Stopping a GLP-1 medication means regaining most of the weight you lost. That's not a rumor, and it's not new. Documented across both of the major drugs since 2022. What is new, published 6 weeks ago, is that all or nothing is no longer the only choice. There's now trial evidence for a lower maintenance dose as a middle path, and the part most people get wrong. The regain isn't the drug damaging your metabolism. It's the disease doing what chronic diseases do when you remove the treatment. Your blood pressure climbs when you stop an antihypertensive. Nobody calls that the pill failing. Same biology here. The new trial is called SURMOUNT-MAINTAIN, published in the Lancet in May 2026. Here's how it was built. Everyone first spent 60 weeks losing weight on tirzepatide at their highest tolerated dose. Then they were split 3 ways. Stay at the full dose, drop down to 5 milligrams, or switch to placebo, which is the real-world version of quitting. At week 112, here's where they landed, measured from their original starting weight. Full dose held a 21.9% loss. The 5 milligram group held 16.6%, and the group that came off held 9.9%. Read that last number carefully. 9.9% is real weight still gone. So no, you do not bounce all the way back to where you started. But the gap is wide, and it widened fastest in the people who stopped completely. That's where the rescue number from the open comes back. 67% of the people who quit needed a rescue dose versus 8% on the full dose and 25% on the low dose. The 5 milligram middle path is the headline finding, a way to step down without falling off. Now, if this were only true for one drug, you could write it off. It isn't. Go back to 2022, the Step 1 extension on semaglutide. People lost about 17% of their body weight over 68 weeks. Then the medication and the lifestyle support both continued to be measured for a year after they came off. 1 year later, they'd regained 2/3 of what they'd lost, settling at a net loss of about 5.6%. And the blood pressure, the lipids, the blood sugar improvements, those drifted back toward baseline, right alongside the weight. The author's own conclusion is the cleanest sentence in this entire field. The findings confirm the chronicity of obesity and that ongoing treatment is required to maintain the improvement. That's not a marketing line. That's the data telling you what kind of disease this is. If you want the cleanest before and after on stopping, that's SURMOUNT-4. People lost weight on tirzepatide for 36 weeks, then were randomized to keep going or switch to placebo. Over the next year, the people who kept going lost an additional 5.5%. The people who stopped gained back 14%. That's a roughly 20-point swing that came down entirely to whether the treatment continued. And a follow-up analysis published last November added the part that matters most clinically. In the people who stopped, most regained at least 25% of their lost weight within a year, and their cardiometabolic markers reversed along with it. Waist circumference, cholesterol, fasting insulin. The gains came back undone. The semaglutide side tells the same story. In step 4, continuing the drug meant losing another roughly 8%. Switching to placebo meant gaining about 7% back. 2 drugs, 4 trials, 1 pattern. Here's where I'm going to push back on the version of this you've probably seen online. The scary take is you gain it all back, the drug ruins your metabolism. That is not what these trials show. Every single stop group still held a meaningful net loss. The variance is wide. Some people held most of their loss, some regained more. And in the real world, outside the trial's strict measurement, more than half of people maintain a meaningful loss a year out. So the accurate statement isn't, it all comes back. It's, most of it tends to, on average, if you stop cold, and there are now strategies to keep more of it. Precision is the whole point. Overstating the fear is just the influencer mistake pointed in the other direction. So, what do you actually do with this? First, plan for chronicity from day one. If you treat high blood pressure as a long term condition, treat this the same way. Going in expecting a few months and I'm done sets you up for the exact regain these trials describe. Second, stopping is not the only off ramp. The 5 milligram data means a step down conversation is now evidence based, not guesswork. If cost or supply or side effects are pushing you toward quitting, a lower maintenance dose is a real option to raise with your prescriber. Third, if you do stop, stop on purpose with a plan, not by running out. The regain isn't a moral failure, and it isn't your metabolism breaking. It's biology you can plan around. The question was never really, will I gain it back? It's, what kind of disease am I treating and for how long? The data answered that years ago. We just finally have a middle path. Evidence based analysis. No noise. See you next week.